It's a war. Dude, this is always like, you know, there's people over here in one corner, Diablo 4. There's people in the other corner, Path of Exile. And there's people in this corner now, Last Epoch. And they always go like this, man. You know, it's good if there's multiple games that are great, guys. Anyways, let's check this out here, guys. Why Diablo 4 players hate Last Epoch. Video here by Frosty Laro. Oh boy. Last Epoch is launching, guys, February 21st. And we just got confirmation that the Gauntlet is launching the week later on the 27th. So we have some time to check this out. Let's see.
February 21st, Last Epoch will officially launch, and you are going to hate it. This video is for us Diablo 4 enthusiasts who believe Diablo 4 is the perfect ARPG in every way, with absolutely no issues. If you are not one of these people and actually like Last Epoch, I suggest you stop watching this video right now, as it may trigger you.
Trigger warning.
Now that those people are gone and it's just us Diablo purists, we can finally get into why we're going to hate Last Epoch. My first of many reasons you're going to hate Last Epoch is its price. It's only $35 for the full game. What a stupid number, am I right? I know
$35 for the entire game. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like this deluxe and ultimate and premium editions.
I'm not going to enjoy myself
just
unless
like in
the
Diablo
game
4.
is at least $70. And there is no $100 early access version.
Oh, there isn't.
Like, come on, guys. Are you even trying here? And get this, they're going to keep updating the game and won't charge for DLC and expansions. This is awful and such a bad idea. Diablo 4 is going to have an expansion every year. And I know, after this year's experience playing this absolute gem of a game, I can't wait to dish out another $70 for the expansion. The next thing I absolutely despise about Last Epoch is its skill trees. Yeah,
how dare they make it so cheap, man? What the fuck?
I said skill trees.
Do you not know about inflation? Hello?
Meaning more than one. They have a passive skill tree, then a whole complete...
I mean, this is like the entire skill tree right now of Diablo 4. And this is like just for one skill in Last Epoch. But again, man, complexity isn't necessarily a good thing for a lot of players, right? Like, it can get too complex. I mean, you have like, this is one fireball. This is one skill, right?
Skill tree for every single skill in the game.
So, and there's like 100 skills. So you have like this times 100.
Again, what an absolutely stupid idea and a waste of time. Let me show you an example side by side using Fireball.
Yeah, that's Fireball in Diablo 4, man. Literally, you have one choice. You go left or you go right. That's it. Here you have a few more, I guess.
On the left, we have the Giga Chad Diablo 4's Fireball and its skill tree section. So freaking clean. And let's look at our options here. We can either do more damage with Fireball, or over here, we can do more crit damage with Fireball. Thank you, Blizzard, for giving us what we want. Meaningful, game-changing choices in a skill tree. Now let's look over here at this abomination of a skill tree for Last Epoch's Fireball.
Abomination.
The options we have to augment Fireball here are turning it into an ability where we can shoot multiple fireballs in a cone, or turn it into a plasma ball that does more damage, or adds an explosion, or homing feature, or turning it into a flamethrower. And we can even combine these together and have a plasma flamethrower that explodes? I gotta stop. I'm getting too overwhelmed from all these options. I think you can all see what a major waste of time all these options are. They could have used...
Well, I mean, for like, you know, the average gamer dad with like all these wives, all these kids and all these jobs, it can be very overwhelming. And Path of Exile has this problem where it's just at some point too complex. I think this just looks the right amount to me. I mean, this is like pretty complex, but also not like Path of Exile skill tree complex, like where it's just like you open that thing, that skill tree, and then you just give up, you know, because you need a PhD to play that game.
Use that time to create something we actually...
Sometimes less is more, but I think a solid middle ground here, like Last Epoch does it, is pretty good because, I mean, I agree, like, you know, the Diablo 4 skill tree can feel a bit shallow. I think the Paragon system is like way better already, like where you have like a lot more options. But yeah, skill tree, I would like more branches like on every skill and stuff. Like I think that'd be cool, like having more choices and more meaningful choices. I think that's definitely something they could expand on, like by adding new skills, adding new runes, adding new passives, maybe with the Vessel of Hatred expansion, I don't know. But like, it feels a bit too shallow for me. Well, it obviously doesn't have to be as complicated as Path of Exile, but like I think this is a good middle ground, in my opinion.
We want in an ARPG. Like having a system that locks skill points behind finding over 150 random statues, or having a world boss, but make sure it's on a 3-hour timer so we can all make sure we're there to kill it. Or dungeons, where you need to pick up an idol, but you need 3 of them to open the door, but can't hold more than 1, so you gotta backtrack.
Yeah, dude, you can only hold 1 of those stones, of those idols. Like, that is stupid. Like, it really is. Like, there's like many dungeons now on the Nightmare rotation currently as well, but you have to pick up 3 stones and you can only carry 1 at a time. Like, what? I'm like a bard, man. I'm carrying like 4 weapons. Can I not carry 4 stones? Like, how are 3 stones? How hard can it be?
But you need 3 of them to open the door, but can't hold more than 1, so you gotta backtrack. Ah yes, the good old days. Speaking of being overwhelmed, let's talk stash tabs. Again, Diablo 4 has the perfect amount of them. 5.
Oh no, man.
Maybe 6. Okay, I really don't know. Whoever
Oh my god, man, he's also keeping all these potions.
uses that many tabs. Right, guys? This is where I almost threw up in my mouth when I heard in Last Epoch you can have over 100 stash tabs. What even is that? Do you think we're stupid and
20,000 gold. Doesn't even cost 20 bucks. Gee.
don't know how to manage our stash? Well, I think you're stupid, Last Epoch, for not even making these purchasable with real money. You just buy them with in-game
Well, I
gold.
mean, they can't be purchased in Diablo either. Maybe this is like a hint of Path of Exile where you have to buy them.
Come on, you gotta have at least some pay for convenience or pay for power, but you said you won't. How stupid can you be? Okay, before I keep going down this path, let's get back to stash tabs.
You're moving
In Diablo
stupid.
4, we have 5 classes. All we need is 5 tabs, 1 for each class. And Blizzard
Right?
believes...
One for each class is fine. Dude, like I go on my stash tabs as well. Jesus, man, we need like this entire stash for each class. Like, it's literally impossible to have enough tabs. Like, what the fuck? Like, we need like at least double of what we have right
and
now.
trusts us to make meaningful choices on what items we can keep. Sometimes
The graphics are a huge W for Diablo 4, man. Also the feeling. I played quite some, I don't know, like 60 hours of Last Epoch. And it's just not as smooth from like the feeling, like when you play and you control your character as Diablo 4. Like Blizzard games have this like crazy high polish to them. And yeah, the graphics is a big W, but Last Epoch seems to have a great endgame and itemization, and it has loot filters and stash space. There's a lot going for it, for sure. That is kind of lacking in Diablo 4, but you know, there's advantages on both sides.
I spend hours just going through all the items, deciding what I need to remove.
Now we need
Some
a
of the
loot
most
filter.
meaningful moments I've ever had in Diablo were just me staring at my items in my stash,
Most
or even
meaningful.
inventory, deciding
I mean, for a lot of casual players, it actually takes longer to sort out the loot. Like, you literally go play a vault, and it like, spams you the entire inventory full of loot. The vault takes about 3 minutes, and then you go to town, and sorting out your inventory, deciding on what's good and what's bad, for a lot of players, takes longer than 3 minutes. So you're like 50% playing the game, and 50% just looking at loot, trying to decide what is better. Cowboy Animation has a pretty good video on that.
if I should keep a weapon with more damage to healthy enemies, or another weapon with more damage to slowed enemies. You know what? This brings me to my next point on why us Diablo 4 superfans will absolutely hate Last Epoch. And that's because
Bro, what is he doing? Like, it's like he's just marking them as trash and then
hate
undoing
Last
everything.
Epoch.
Look at this.
and that's
I
because
think it's very productive.
they have
Just mark them as trash, then mark them as favorites, and then unmark all of them again. What the hell?
a loot filter. What? Why would you want to pick up less loot? And why would I want to only see items I need? Do they think we're not smart enough to make loot decisions on our own? No, that can't be it. Us Diablo 4 purists are the smartest out of any ARPG player out there. We don't need to
Hell
be
yeah.
able to filter out white and blue items. We don't need to be able to color grade gear that drops.
I don't even know why white and the blue items still drop when you're in World Tier 4 doing a Dungeon 100. Like, what's the point of it? Like, it's just guaranteed to be salvaged. Like, there's no scenario in Diablo 4 where a white or a magic blue item can be better than a legendary or a rare item. And they had the great systems in Diablo 2 where, you know, the white items could be used as a base for crafting. So they had a used. They could be socketed, there could be rune words made into them, things like that. And magic items actually rolled higher stats than their rare counterparts. So like if we check this for Diablo 3, it would mean, okay, maybe you don't always want a legendary, I don't know, like maybe you don't always want legendary bracers because they can only roll 10% attack speed. But if you have a magic gloves, they can roll 20% attack speed and +5 to Hammer of the Ancients or something, right? So there's at least, you know, some use case that these blue items have, right? But like, look at the blue item here, like it's just complete dog shit, and you always wanna like salvage it, no matter what. So what's even the point of having them, you know, in the end game?
Based on having stats like
There's just no reason.
minion damage. They don't even know how much fun we have spending countless minutes sorting through a whole inventory of items, carefully looking at all the stats.
Yeah, especially when you're like 50% playing the game and 50% time spent going through your inventory loot. The hell?
To see what may be an upgrade after every dungeon run. Oh my god, I'm getting antsy. All this talk about a full inventory of yellow items is really making me want to stop making this video right now and get back to my perfect Diablo 4. But before I do, I have 2 more reasons why you're going to hate Last Epoch, one of which is the crafting system. In our exquisite game, Diablo 4, we can choose one stat to re-roll where it gives you a random new stat.
Okay, but to be fair, they're working on this.
Last Epoch has so many crafting options, I'm only going to tell you a few of my favorites. I mean least favorites. Least favorites. The first is being able to put the exact stat you want onto a piece of gear. You want fire damage?
Dude, man, I have like several amulets. I want to roll cooldown on my amulet, but it's completely impossible with the way it works in Diablo 4. Like, it costs you multiple billions of gold just to get a good cooldown roll on an amulet, because the odds are just rigged against you.
You can add fire damage. You can transform an item into a unique or set item. Yes, there are sets in the game. How ridiculous. This last part about...
Yeah, I'm definitely missing sets in Diablo 4, is a very good point. I don't want the Diablo 3 sets where the set just gives you 10,000% damage to one skill. But I think it would be very cool to have, like, you know, if you guys played Diablo 3, like the Orchilds or the Captain Crimson kind of sets, where you just have like 2 or 3 pieces that are not mandatory, but they still give you a nice buff and can be combined in a different way, like, you know, the Orchild sets, like these kind of like 2, 3, maybe even 4, 5, 6 pieces, but not like 10,000% to like one specific skill, completely making everything else useless. Those are bad set designs. We want like good set designs that are not completely overpowered, but still relevant.
Crafting, I'm sure you will
Just
all
giving you
hate,
more options.
and that's the ability to craft a powerful weapon on your high-level character and give it to your low-level character to make them completely overpowered and able to breeze through the early game, destroying everything in sight. How silly. Don't they know killing hordes of enemies super fast is not fun at all? Give me my 4 damage Diablo 4 Druid any day, because we are real gamers. Now for my final and possibly most despised reason, us
4 damage. I think he meant 17.
Diablo 4 devotees will hate Last Epoch and its endgame. They have 3 endgame activities. The first being dungeons, where you'll be able to target farm rewards and have varying levels of difficulty. Then they have the Monolith of Fate, which has so much depth to it, but
I like the arena the
I'm gonna
best.
keep things short because I really got to get to my
Monolith
inventory
was pretty
full of
cool.
yellows. It consists of a huge branching mapping system with endgame rewards, modifiers, and bosses, with the challenge and rewards increasing with its difficulty the further you go. There's a whole lot more to monoliths, but who wants to go over the endgame systems to that extent? I do, and I'll probably make another video about this soon. Then finally, we have the arena. There are 2 modes.
This is the coolest mode, man. This would be so cool to see in the Diablo franchise again. Like, you basically have a static area, and there's waves of monsters coming. I guess it's a pretty big area, as you can see. You can move around pretty freely. And there's waves and waves of monsters coming that are continuously getting harder, and you're continuously, like, challenged with different monsters. And you have to basically conduct a strategy of how you defeat them in... like before you die, basically. And there's no limit. Like, it just keeps being more difficult. I think that's a great system.
Modes. One is the arena.
Here, you can attempt harder waves or abandon run it. You get some rewards, like prove your strength.
Champions, with a set number of waves followed by a boss. Each wave, you can increase the difficulty with a modifier which increases your reward at the end. Then
That's
there's
super
the
cool.
Endless Arena.
Arena is like insane.
And
Or the
here's
Endless
where
one.
I feel the developers of Last Epoch are either aliens or working for the Illuminati, because this Endless Arena has a ladder system. A fully functional, active ladder system.
They have a gauntlet, a leaderboard.
Guys,
This is coming to Diablo 4 soon.
Last Epoch is a small company, so considering it is taking Blizzard months to launch a ladder system, and this game will have it on launch, I am sure there's
Well, I mean, to be fair, it should have definitely been there for Diablo 4 launch. Servus, yo. Thanks for the support. Anonymous gifter, you too. Welcome in, guys.
either some supernatural or future technology at play here, and we should just not trust it. Okay, so for those of you still here
Like the new leaderboard's release date.
and are sure you will hate Last Epoch, stop watching now. You have a full inventory of yellows to sift through. Go get to it. Okay, so those of you who are still here,
We better get to it.
I assume you actually are playing or will play Last Epoch on February 21st. If so, then subscribe to my channel.
That was a pretty good video. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of things that Diablo could and probably should improve. But you know, it's just a great thing to have more games out there, like more ARPGs that are good, that are fun, like Path of Exile, like Last Epoch, like Diablo 4. And you know, for us, the players, the gamers, it's a win-win because we can just choose whichever game we want to play. And it just makes the companies want to make better games or want to make a better product, so we can all enjoy it and they get more players and they get more money out of it. But in the end, it's just a net win for us. More power to all these other games as well. Pretty cool. I'm gonna check it out. Good video. Yeah, competition is good, man. It's very good. I like it a lot. Very nice, very nice. But yeah, ladder is coming soon to Diablo 4. I'm looking forward to that as well. And maybe next week we'll play some Last Epoch. And then the week after that, we'll play some Diablo 4. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.